What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I wanted to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down some big news involving the Cybertruck, which you should be watching for as time progresses. But let me just mention that I'm not a financial planner. Take nothing I say as financial advice. And don't forget to smash the like button. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. So Tesla had a very, very interesting move today. We got this big rejection off this 202 area, bringing us all the way down towards 195. I was talking about 194, this imbalance, which could have filled. We came just short of that target, and now Tesla's getting bought back up with the market. So for SPY, on the other hand, I just wanted to mention that if we had lost 528, we would have turned bearish. And if we ended up reclaiming 531, we would have turned more bullish. That's what I said in the morning. And so far today, the bulls have stepped in. They're actually holding SPY above 531. So this gives them a bigger edge right now. So that's a big shift in the markets right now. The bulls are back trying to defend. Just notes that there's not really much data coming out for today, but there's going to be another catalyst that will determine whether or not this bullish move ends up continuing. And it's going to be the big data with PPI and CPI coming out for Tuesday and Wednesday. So I just wanted to call that out. The market's getting bought back up. Even Tesla is following the trend, trying to get bought back up. But now the question is, what pieces of news came out for Tesla that are worth noting and what's going on with this? So I'm going to talk about that real quick. There's this big news coming out right here that Tesla's launched the Cybertruck in Canada, and it's pricey according to reports. So once again, it's not really a surprise, especially because of the fact that it's being produced in the U.S. primarily. But you guys can see that this is going to make people very excited, in my opinion. I don't think that people are solely going to go for the Cybertruck just for the price. There's a lot of people with very, very high amounts of interest in the Cybertruck. And you guys can see that we have the Cybertruck all-wheel drive foundation series at about 138,000 Canadian dollars, with the Cyberbeast at about 166,000 Canadian dollars. So that is, I guess, if anything, higher than what the regular price would be. But that's once again not really a surprise. Once again, it's quite a distance away from the U.S. when it comes to having to import it and get through a lot of things. But once again, I would say that this could be popular. I know some reports are saying it's not going to be popular. I think this could still be popular. There's going to be a lot of people interested in buying it, especially very wealthy people who are very, very interested in what Tesla has to offer. So I think that this could be pretty cool for Tesla. I don't think that Canada is the biggest market, at least for the Cybertruck. I do agree with that point, but I do think that this could still get additional sales and revenue. So it could be pretty cool for Tesla. On top of this, there's more talk coming out about Tesla's potential redesign. So there's more images surfacing about the Juniper update for the Model Y refresh. I think that this could be cool. We don't know for sure when this is going to come out or what it's looking like, but there is a lot of talk about this with new updates. And on top of this, we're going to be looking for a new amount of shifts in their software. So there's going to be the new AI5 software to be compatible for it. So I'm seeing a lot of talk about this and a lot of really cool things. There's also some leaked images about the light bar. That could be very cool as well. So we might see a new upgraded light bar for Tesla. So I think it's pretty cool looking, in my opinion, if that ends up being the case. And just know that nothing is confirmed quite yet. We can't say this with 100% certainty, but uh, I just have to wait and see what this leads to. But I think that if they do some kind of refresh by next year, that's going to be a killer for their sales and such. We're going to be looking for some very, very nice moves. And I'm very excited about this. So just want to give this some recognition. Just know that this is great news, at least for Tesla. I can't wait to see what else comes from this. Looking at the share price, I just wanted to mention that now we have this resistance to watch for around 199. 199 is resistance because that's where our 50 EMA happens to be. If Tesla breaks through this, I'd be looking for 200, then 202 as resistance. So very, very tight levels on Tesla. And our support happens to be at very close to this 197.25 area. That's where this next imbalance is. And if that breaks, I'd be looking for 195. So Tesla has some very, very tight levels. We'll see how it reacts to 199. And there could be an attempt to break out a little higher if the market manages to help it hold up. But nonetheless, even if Tesla does end up, holding up, let me just make it very clear that we're still in this range going back and forth between supply and demand. So we're still range balanced. There's not really a whole lot that's going on. For SPY, we have support at 528. That's critical. And our resistance, there's also some support at 531 right now since we're above that. But the resistance to watch for is 533. SPY is looking more bullish. It's on an uptrend right now, at least for the more shorter term time frames. It is attempting to rebound, so watch and see what our resistance happens to be. If we break past 533, our next target is all the way up to 535. So SPY is favoring the upside, looks more bullish as long as we hold above 531. So watch and see how things end up developing like this. For Nvda, we're basically trying to hold above 104.65. If we were to lose this, I'd be looking for 104, and then a break below that takes us all the way down towards 102. To be bullish, you want to still try to get back above 108. Otherwise, Nvidia is just range bound, and that's all it's doing right now. As you can see, we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We're still kind of stuck, so give it some time. I think it's just going to continue to shuffle for today, not really do too much. So that's very very probable for the time being. For Bitcoin, we're also just kind of shuffling. We did retrace just a little bit, but make sure you look at resistance at 60,000. We'll see if this breaks or not. But if anything, we're just very, very choppy right now. If you look at the last couple of hours, it's been going back and forth around the 60,000 area. So I'm not really seeing much going on with this besides a lot of sideways price action. The QQQ is holding up nicely. It managed to get back above 448. That's a good sign. If we hold above 448, look at 450 as resistance, followed by 452. And if both of those break, I'd be looking for 455. For support at 446, if that fails, look at 444. And we'll have to see how things end up developing right here. But just know that the QQQ is looking more bullish, and there's a good chance that this will attempt to continue to pump from here. As long as we hold above 448, I favor upside for the QQQ, so we'll see how that goes. Apple's looking pretty good. We were calling out this support at 211. We held support. And one thing that's worth noting is that we have a bullish wedge that's forming here, and we have this gap to fill. So there is potential in Apple to push higher. But before we break out higher, look at 215.5 as resistance to 200 EMA. If we break that, we could be pushing to fill the gap. If you reject here, we'll be dipping back down towards this 212 area. But this chart is favoring the upside, looks a little bit more bullish to me. So I like how it's looking, and I think there's a good chance this will continue to pump. For the IWM, we're looking decent. We dipped to about 205.8 only to hold support. So we're holding our 50 EMA, the yellow line right here. Watch 207 as resistance. If that breaks, we'd be looking for 208.5, which is where we have this double top. If we break 208.5, we're more bullish. The 210s are coming. If we lose 205, there's a risk of 203. Otherwise, we're just range bound right now between 206 and 208. We're going to likely shuffle, but just know that there is some upside potential for the charts. For Coinbase, we made a nice move, got a nice little bounce right here. We did dip a little bit, all the way down to 190, only to get bought back up. I mentioned everyone, if we held 192, look for a rebound. If we lost it, we turn bearish. And we dipped below this only to get bought back up. So we could slowly get closer to 198 and then 200. It is possible, but just know that it's a little bit slow. The volume isn't that great, so it's going to take a little bit of time to get there, but there is some upside potential. Amazon's testing resistance at this 167 area. Notice that this was our resistance. We also have support on 165. If we break 167, we'd be looking for a push all the way up towards 169, and there is some upside potential in my opinion. For Meta, we're looking for a nice break right here. We're holding our key supports, and we're trying to push towards 515. If that breaks, we'd basically be looking for 520. If you reject off 515, we'd be looking for a dip back down to 512. This is favoring a break of resistance. So if you look back like this, we actually broke resistance right over here at this 510 area and also 512. So this is favoring a nice push for 515. And if that breaks, our next target is going to be all the way up towards 520. I would say Meta looks more bullish with a nice cup and handle like structure. And this is favoring the upside direction. In my video yesterday, I called out 515. That's where we currently are. So we look more bullish. Microsoft is also looking more bullish, at least in terms of its trend. If we were to lose 402, we would turn more bearish. If we hold above 403, we favor upside a bit more, but I want to see it break out above 408 to really start pushing. This trend is a little bit more bullish as we're making higher highs and higher lows. I want to see it break 408. As of right now, if you look at it, it's been stuck between 402 and 408, going back and forth and back and forth. May shuffle for a bit, but the trend is still a little bit in the upwards direction. Now, despite the market trying to rebound, Google's a little bit lackluster, and I did call this out yesterday. Not really liking the setup. 163 is our resistance. If we break that, I'd be looking for 166. We have to break that to turn bullish. And if we have 160 as support, if we lose that, I'd be looking for 158. All day it's just back and forth price action. We might dip a little bit more towards the 160 flat area, but there's not really a whole lot else that's going on. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for listening. Tesla's attempting to rebound a bit with the markets. Make sure you watch that resistance at 199. Tesla's not really making a big move. It's kind of like choppy right now. So just be patient with it. For now, it has some upside potential as long as we can try to get back above our resistance, and we'll see how things go. Thank you for listening, guys. Have a great day, and peace out.